The days have gone dark, and the hope of survival has reduced at a great cost. He has lost everything he has earned in his whole life. In his home of diminished dilapidation, trapped in his own mind, he washed off his face with alcohol all day. That was all he could ever think of doing, and his black cat, named Karry, accompanied him at all times. One morning he woke up with a dizzy head, and he was mildly drunk, staggered to the bathroom, picked up an old toothbrush, and began to brush his teeth out of nowhere. He abruptly saw that his face in the mirror had altered into something unbearable and inconceivable. His face unexpectedly transformed into a gigantic, off-white in color skeleton with a sarcastic look on its face. The skeleton was wearing a brown leather cowboy hat, and around the top surface of the cowboy hat there were bullets attached. When he saw his altered appearance, he was startled. "I am you. How do you like your new look?" asked the skeleton. All the teeth had sharp edges, and he tried to touch his changed face to see if he could stop moving the jaws. Right at this time, suddenly, he heard a sound of something coming off, and as he was staring at himself, a big golden tooth came out of his mouth. It rolled down in a circular motion. This was the very last thing he had in his possession. He bent down and searched for it carefully. "Oh, what's that?" He was shocked at what he saw. A shadow-like figure was moving fast and disappeared in a blink of an eye from the hole in the corner, and his golden tooth was gone. "There goes my final precious thing I have earned." The dark figure turned out to be the mouse, Poppy. He mistook the golden tooth for a big corn. When he saw it rolling down, he grabbed it as fast as he could. Poppy's big round eyes could not be more happy to see a corn falling. "Oh no!" the owner screamed out loud, as he could not bear the thought of seeing his golden tooth taken away. Karry the black cat appeared in front of him. "That big-eyed hateful mouse stole my golden tooth! Go and get it back for me!" he screamed as he moved his head vigorously. Meanwhile, deep in the cave on the other side, the big mouse Poppy pushed the massive golden tooth with great effort. His eyes were filled with the thoughts of the tasty food, and Poppy was drooling like crazy. "Poppy, come. We should help the master, and we should not take things from him and run," said Karry. His blue eyes were shining in the dark. "I'm not a thief. Look at my thin body," said Poppy. The owner's previous house used to be a mansion full of luxury, always packed with carnival crowds and delicious foods. The blonde in the bedroom and the master kept talking like they were the world. At that time, Karry used to play recklessly in the room, winning endless love and admiration from owners and friends. Unfortunately, due to the poor management of the wealth and careless spending, the family's situation got worse, and he eventually went bankrupt. He had to leave his luxurious residence, as he could no longer maintain it. "Our family used to live in harmony. Our home was so elegant, and there was something delicious to share every day. Such a joy it was. Look at us now, Poppy. We all live off the leftover scraps, and we hide behind the shadows of others. We should lift ourselves and support the master as he returns to his rightful glory, which he had before," Karry continued. "I'm so tired of living like this, Karry," replied Poppy. "If we lift our master up, we don't have to beg for money or food," said Karry as he stared blankly outside the window. They both let their minds take over and take them to their inner vivid imagination, filled with beauty and glamour. They imagined that they were dancing a famous waltz. One day, as Karry and Poppy were wandering in the streets, they saw a newsstand that was put in front of a bookshop. It contained some of the oldest and dusty magazines, ready to be discounted. On the cover of a magazine, there was a handsome character photographed. It was the owner of Karry, when he was well off. The magazine cover was done in the past about the hero, the former millionaire. By the time they arrived at their shabby house, the owner was still getting drunk, and the whole space was filled with stinking bad wine. Karry and Poppy carried the magazine and kept it on the table. Master was too drunk to notice it, as he was sleeping. On the day of that bright night, the moon in the night was exceptionally bright. The magazine on the table was lit up like a lightning rod, which hit his face. The master seemed to hear a voice calling to him, a voice he was familiar with. "Hey, wake up! It's now or never!" He recognized the voice. It was his past self, and it disappeared in a blink of an eye. "I'm going to stand up for my life and start over." He was determined. Karry and Poppy saw the new ray of hope in their master's eyes. The cat and the mouse were happy, and they were there watching the master day and night. As time passed, the owner stepped into a new life, and he was progressing with his life. A wonderful journey was waiting for him and his two pets on the other side of the bright light.